We've all heard the stories. I once caught a fish this big.
Bam!
But what's the story behind all of those tales? What drives people to our oceans, lakes, and streams? Is it to connect with nature? Is it to live out one of man's oldest occupations?
All right, got it. Wow! There you go. That's Florida.
Or is it a chance to heal the soul with a time-honored family tradition?
Oh, bam! Yeah! Big fish! Yeah, baby! Bam! Oh.
In fishing, there's the hunt.
Yeah! There you go. Bam, bam, bam!
There's the challenge every time you hit the water.
Got it, coach.
There's the camaraderie.
You want to put like a 10 push-up wager?
Yeah, let's do that.
And then there's the stories. It's not just fishing.
You heard it here.
It's a fishing story.
Nice! Yeah, baby! Bam!
A Fishing Story is presented by Pasco County, Florida. Open spaces, vibrant places. On today's episode of A Fishing Story, Ronnie will venture out with the Pasco County, Florida Sheriff Chris Nocco and his two sons, master fishermen, Alex and Xavier.
Fish on!
Oh, man, look at this guy. Another one on artificial.
All right,
wow.
This former 9/11 first responder and pillar of his community may have met his match with his sons wielding a fishing rod, but his exceptional service to the residents of Pasco County and law enforcement officers suffering from PTSD have made him a man among men.
In law enforcement, it's been one of those things that nobody really discusses.
Ronnie and the crew will be fishing Pasco County Bay, north of St. Petersburg,
Ain't to be on my line.
where redfish are abundant.
Yeah! Da-da-da.
Today I'm fishing Pasco County with Pasco County Sheriff Chris Nocco and his boys Alex and Xavier.
Wow!
Hey,
there
what's
they
happening?
are. What's going on,
What's
guys?
going on?
Hey, how are you,
Xavier,
man?
Alex, what's happening?
What do you know, Chris?
Good to see you.
You ready to go catch them, man?
Yeah, get some big ones.
Oh, man, it is a beautiful day, man. I'm a little bit worried because I hear these guys are pretty good. I think they're going to outfish me. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yeah, they think they can outfish everybody. There's nobody that can outfish these two.
Well, let's go get them, man.
All right.
Right now, where they're staging stuff at,
Okay.
they're eating better on the outgoing.
So you basically prefer the outgoing tide versus the incoming on this particular area where we're fishing?
There's some areas at different times that incoming tide works better than the outgoing. Just right now, where the redfish are sitting,
Yeah.
the outgoing's working better.
Fish on!
Nice!
There you go.
Get them out.
Get him, baby!
And that was on artificial.
Yeah!
Good job,
That's
buddy.
what I'm talking about.
All right, get,
Oh,
my
man.
Dad got one
Oh,
too.
you got one too!
All right, Xavier, your turn.
Oh, man.
Your turn, Xavier.
It's on, baby.
He's got one too.
Oh, wait, let's don't tangle
We got
up.
a double hook.
We got a triple hookup.
A triple.
A triple hookup. There you go. Bring that one over here.
That is wild!
Somebody hit the
Bring
first
this one over
man.
here.
Nice!
There you go.
That's really nice. Over here, big red nice. Oh, look at that red.
Whoa, lift it up, lift it up.
Nice. Good job. Bam. How about it, man? Give me a little bit back here. Bam.
Nice job on an artificial
I
bait.
mean to tell you,
That's
man, that
good.
is rare.
Artificial bait,
Chris,
you hook
this-
one.
that doesn't happen.
No, yeah.
Oh, trust me. Artificial is hard to catch.
Artificial's hard to
And
catch.
make no mistake, they'll be talking about this for weeks.
You just caught within the first 5 minutes. This is rare. What did you guys do that was different that you caught?
I jigged it.
You jigged it. So you using artificial, man. That is what I'm talking about.
I just remember from the Keys.
Hey, that's the best way to remember, man. You find it all in the Keys, man. Only in Florida, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Fish on!
Oh, man, look at this guy. Another one on artificial.
All right,
Wow.
Alex.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Alex, what do you think? It was about 10 pounder?
Yes. Of course.
Getting
Is that a
bigger.
record?
Good fish.
Is that one to be
baby.
mounted?
Yes.
There he goes.
There you go, there's a double.
The Alex Mojo. Wow.
There you go.
Nice fish, Alex. Look at this guy.
He's bigger too. Ooh, that's a bigger one.
Nice fish.
Come on, it's on!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This guy's going crazy.
He's going crazy?
Is he?
Good job. Beautiful red fish. Only in Florida, baby.
You got it.
Oh, you got a weak
Good
one.
job,
I got
man, again.
All right, let Dad get you a picture.
Good job.
Good job, buddy. Artificial too.
I mean to tell you, artificial twice.
When we come back, we'll see if the boys can outfish the men.
My boys get the big ones. This is what I'm stuck with.
And Sheriff Nocco talks family and fishing.
If you look out for one another, you're always going to be successful no matter what you do in life.
We'll be right back on a fishing story.
A Fishing Story is brought to you by Abu Garcia for life. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Power Pole, swift, silent, secure. Bass Addiction Flat Out Tungstens, no equal.
We're fishing with Pasco County Sheriff and family man Chris Nocco and his boys Alex and Xavier.
Got one fish on!
Oh, another one
Oh.
on artificial. This guy
This
is a
kid is
beast.
crank.
Get him, Alex.
Good job, Alex.
Oh, nice fish. Look at them shoulders, man.
Oh, is this an 8-pounder?
I wouldn't say that.
It goes up by the minute, huh?
Alex, what's the secret?
Yeah, what's the secret, man?
Nope, I can't share it.
That's the way to go.
Fish on!
Oh, I think your brother has a secret too, man. Look at
Oh.
that. Bam.
Xavier, what's your secret?
I can tell you all about it as soon as this fish is gone.
That's how you do it right there.
Is this a lot different than your bass fishing?
Much different. Okay. Got it.
Wow. Wow. These guys are on fire. Bam. Sheriff Chris Nocco, man, I am so excited to have you on the show. It's amazing to be able to fish with a guy who has so many different things going on in the community and even spending time with your boys and whatnot. But you have taken steps in the community as well as with your folks, police.
Right.
And I think when you merge those two together, that's how you set the standard. And tell me a little bit about what you do also in the communities as
Right.
well, how you reach out.
No, it's a multi-pronged approach. I mean, one is internally that, there's things that our members deal with that, as I talked about, with the stress that we have to work with. There's a lot of training involved, but the other one is community outreach. I mean, we are the visible sign of government in the community. And a lot of times people think we can solve all the problems of the world, even though we are out there for public safety issues. So, some of the things we do is social media. We go into the schools. We realize that we have a very important job connecting to the next generation. Wow. We want those kids to grow up liking law enforcement. We want them to realize, those officers, those deputies, they're great people. I want to be like that. So we recognize that, our role is not only to protect people, but it's also to engage the community because we are the community. So we want everybody working together as one. And that's why it's important that we reach out to this next generation, that we, unite with our community. We have to realize that we're all in this together.
We're putting him on the tour.
He's jigging like crazy. You see him jigging?
All right. They're buying lottery tickets tonight.
Look at that little guy. You got
Jigging that
shrimp.
thing up and down, and as soon as he
Baby shrimp, buddy.
oh, I see it hit his line.
Feisty, but he's small.
Wow.
Just like my little sister. Okay, guys.
Uh-oh,
You see?
yeah, look at him. Xavier's all over him, baby. Bam!
Oh, okay, yes. This guy wanted my bait. He wanted to be on it.
He was asking for it?
Uh-huh. He said, can I
Anywhere
take
you
it? I'm
want.
like, sure.
Anywhere you want,
You'll
man.
pay the price.
Hey, I'll be the first to admit, I am not that fisherman. They are the fishermen. I just go along for the ride.
Man, I'm getting a lesson today
I'm the
on how
wallet.
to fish, man. These kids are awesome.
I'm the wallet that keeps buying all the fishing gear.
You don't want to take no credit for it, Chris?
Nothing, absolutely none. They've learned on their own.
Oh, man, that's awesome. So what do you do in your daily life to reconnect to your family and be able to eliminate some of the stresses that you deal with on a daily basis?
All right, well, you can see, faith is the biggest part of our family's lives, and that's the one we stress, is to have that relationship with God, because really with everything I deal with, along with my wife, I don't know how I wouldn't survive without the Bible. So that really is the center of our family's focus. And it's really, it's trying to spend as much time as I can with my kids. You see my two boys are avid fishermen, and we have a little girl.
Yeah.
And my daughter is absolutely fantastic. It's one of those things, just making we spend enough time because, in reality, in law enforcement, you know, we take the job home with us. It may not be that we're sitting at a desk writing, doing notes, but we're living things over and over again. We're living that stress, and then we're thinking about the future, what we got to do tomorrow. But at the same time is, you know, we have to make sure that we make life a priority with our kids and our family. So that's one of the things, and that's how, you know, fishing became a big part, because you know, I grew up playing sports. So it's, hey guys, you want to play basketball, football, and we'll play for a little bit, but then it always goes back to fishing. Hey, let's go fishing. I'm like, all right. So, I mean, if that's the way I connect with our boys, I go out there and go fishing with my boys. My daughter is baking. When you do a baking show, let me know, because me and my daughter will be on the baking show as we do our,
it too.
Yeah, that may be actually we'll bake the fish. That will be that. We'll cook the fish. But, you know, it's really how I can connect with my kids, because I know by the time I blink my eye, my wife and we're going to be at home, empty nesters, and that's why, you know, we want to do everything we can with our kids. And I know, especially in my field, and we tell all deputies, is when you have time with your family, spend time with your family, because you can't think about work. You have to just focus on your family, because that's what's going to make us better people and more well-rounded.
When we return, Sheriff Nocco discusses some unique challenges law enforcement face that can be so critical in today's media-driven world.
We see the news on, and you know, people are protesting in the streets about law enforcement, and our kids are going, why are they protesting this? What's going on? We know in some communities, they feel like we've been out of touch.
A Fishing Story is brought to you by Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, because what you fish matters. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. We go. Traditional jumping takes a thumping.
Hi, I'm Corporal Clark Reese with the Pasco Sheriff's Office Marine Unit. I'm here to give you some safety tips for your day out on the water. It's very important that when you're out on your day on the water that you have the Coast Guard approved safety equipment. You need to have flares, you need to have life jackets for everybody on board, a sound producing device or a whistle, and you need a fire extinguisher on board. It can help save your life.
Oh, my baby. Wow. Nice.
Right towards the middle.
That's a big one. Big one.
That's where there's.
Get him, man. Oh, man. Look, the X-Man. He's got a big one.
Bigger fish?
He's got a big one. Yeah. Good fish. Oh, great job, buddy. Woo. Yeah.
He's in the fight.
That is pretty awesome, man. Oh, man. Great job, guys.
Fish on, Daddy!
Oh, he got one. He got one on. This is
Oh,
crazy.
my goodness. That guy keeper?
A keeper. There's no keepers here. Ronnie, don't act like you got one.
I tried.
You're like me right now.
You know what?
We're just along for the ride.
That's right. We're just hanging out, man. Oh, man, these guys are on fire.
Unartificial. You're cranking them.
That's like his
There you
fourth
go.
or fifth
That's
fish
stop
on
feeling.
artificial.
There you go.
Good fish. What we're talking about today that I'm excited about is something near and dear to my heart. PTSD. But not as what most people would term PTSD, but in a different realm that nobody really talks about.
Right, and that's one of the things, you know, the military's done an absolutely fantastic job in talking about PTSD and dealing with those issues, but in law enforcement, it's been one of those things that nobody really discusses, even though we know our members that we live with this, because of the situations that we're in. I mean, we can go one moment as regular citizens with our families, and you see somebody, you know, at a grocery store bagging your bags, you know, in your next shift, you're going out there, and that kid may have been overdosed on drugs. You go to horrific scenes, and so the thing with us is that, you know, we live with this. We're constantly dealing with this high stress situations, but those stressful situations are in the communities that we live in. So we can go past a gas station, and for the average person, that's just a normal gas station, but for us, that's where we saw a double homicide. And so those are those type of things that, you know, we're working within the Pasco Sheriff's Office to create this family support network, because we realize that, you know, our members are dealing with this, our loved ones are dealing with this stress, and more as things are getting worse in our communities and in our country, we're starting to recognize that, you know, we have to alleviate that stress from our families and from our members.
Well, that is phenomenal, and I commend you on taking some steps that are really setting the standard across the country, because in light of all the things going on in our country with communities, the African-American community, and then the police, there is a lot of visibility. And I think you set a standard that a lot of police communities aren't really on board yet. What prompted you to do this or take the steps that you all take?
With the media, with the events that have just occurred in the past couple of years, we all, as sitting around talking, deputies talking about issues, saying if we see the news on and people are protesting in the streets about law enforcement, and our kids are watching this, and our kids are going, why are they protesting this? What's going on? Like, that is really stressful at home, trying to explain to your kids why there's people out there that are protesting against law enforcement. The other aspect is, we know in some communities, they feel like we've been out of touch. And so when they feel like they can talk to law enforcement, when law enforcement's been, working with them, I think it makes a better community. And I think here in Pasco, we've been blessed. As our community grows, we have the ability to connect and grow our relationship with them. So that's why we're so much out there. And especially one of the biggest connectors we have is our canine unit.
Yes.
Our Pasco Sheriff's Office canine unit with the association that we have, those dogs have created that bridge between us and especially the young kids. They want to see that canine and they want to hear those canine stories.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, make sure it doesn't go under.
Okay, that's good.
Yes, sir. I think Dad is on to your secret, guys.
Yeah, I just pushed him out of the way.
Fish on!
Oh, nice one. Look at that. Get him, Alex. Oh, man. I think he's got a toad. Nice.
Let me get a pair of pliers.
Wow.
Can we keep him?
No.
That's the artificial, right?
Yeah, that's artificial.
You are on to something, my friend.
That's the
Great
second
job,
time,
man.
too.
Oh,
there you
nice. All
All right, Xavier, what's happening?
Uh-oh.
Right now, we don't have a fish on
Getting
blue.
him. Oh,
Monster.
Are you catching the same fish over and over again? You have GPS on him?
Oh my goodness, I didn't look him in the mouth. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
I
He's just wrapped around it.
Oh. These guys are serious.
Is that guy a keeper?
Coming up, Sheriff Nocco talks faith, family, and the teamwork that helps hold it all together.
Kind of like the nucleus of our family, it's all about team. That, you know what? We always have the mottos, you leave nobody behind. If you look out for one another, you're always going to be successful no matter what you do in life.
I'm Kurt Romanowski. I'm going to show you how to tie a loop knot. Put your line through the eye of the hook, make a loop to the right, another loop to the right, put the right loop through the first loop, take your tag line, put it in, pull it tight, and you're good to go. You got a perfect loop. Quick and easy.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta love this. Oh, how about that trash?
Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
Man, you gotta love this. Oh, yes, sir. Beautiful fish.
Nice and dark gold. They get darker like this. They're living off that tannic water. Starts to turn them this color.
Red, how about that trash? In the state of Florida, baby. One of the things that I noticed with your boys today, first of all, these guys can really fish.
Oh, and I get that from me.
They are really good fishermen.
Right.
But not just that. They are well-rounded, very intelligent young men. Thank you. Yes, sir, no, sir. All the things that we grew up around.
Right.
And having that discipline. So it says a lot about you and their mom.
Right.
And those things are important because when you have a job that's really stressful and you do a lot of things involved with your job, sometimes the kids can be neglected.
Right.
And you've done a great job in balancing all those things.
I've been blessed by God to have an unbelievable wife. My wife, Bridget, is absolutely critical. And she's actually the one, if you give credit, she's the one who came from a fishing family. Okay. So all the skills came from there, that side of the family. I would say, to people out there when they're watching, our faith, that really is what's guiding us. That's what the nucleus of our family is, that we try to structure. And at the same time is, we're always on our kids. We hover over them to make sure that, hey, be on time, be prompt, use your manners, because that's the point. When we're not going to be there, we have to make sure they have the skills and all the training to be prepared for this world to basically, one, survive, succeed, but realize that faith is going to carry them through all the tough things that happen in life. I want to make sure our kids have, great education, they have our love, and at the same time, they have that faith to realize that's always going to be there for them.
A lot of people don't know that you have an athletic prowess. Yeah. College athlete, played college ball, look like you're still in shape. And tell me about those years and what it did for you as a person today.
I had great teammates all throughout from high school into college, and the sports background was all about team, and that's really kind of like the nucleus of our family. It's all about team, that you know what, if you look out for one another, you're always going to be successful no matter what you do in life.
Thank you so much for being on our show today, man.
No, thanks for having me.
We really appreciate everything that you do in the community.
Well, thank you very much. And thanks for having us. And honestly, this is, if you will look back 20, 30 years from now, this moment will always be something we talk about.
Absolutely.
And how big my fish was compared to their fish.
Woo! He's a good one. Oh, Chris, that's not a small fish.
What's that? There you go. There you go.
Nice fish, Chris.
You're watching Dad.
Oh, man.
Right.
Oh, that's a good one.
So the adults are winning now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Snap it.
Snap the line. What do you always say? Snap the line.
Isn't that funny? Boy. Oh, he's a good fish. That's the biggest one all day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, let's add up everybody.
No, we don't count.
Nice, Chris.
There.
That's a great fish. Oh, man, look at that puppy. Nice.
This is why
how
you come
do it.
fishing in Pasco County. You get fish like this,
Beautiful.
only on a fishing story.
A Fishing Story was presented by Pasco County, Florida. Open spaces, vibrant places.
Hey, to find out more about the show, check out afishingstory.com. There you'll find out about our guests, our fans, and myself, Ronnie Green. And there's also a contact page because we'd love to hear from you. So check out afishingstory.com.